from Kinderhook, down in the Hudson. At a very young age, 17, he went into the National Guard. Then went to college, Siena, and ROTC, went from private, became a lieutenant. Of course, you all know he's a full bird colonel when he got out. It's a unique thing. When I started with this, I was so impressed with this guy. I couldn't believe it, about it to myself. His background, he had 7 deployments. He's had 4 in Iraq, 1 in Kosovo, drug interdiction in the Southwest, and he also had a mission to Haiti under Katrina. Really an incredible record. He's taught at the military academy for 3 years. He is from Stanford University. He's a Hoover Fellow, which is a postdoctorate degree. He has his master's and he has his doctorate degree from Cornell. And his service record is unbelievable. That's what got me. He's had 4 tours in Iraq, had 4 gold stars, 4 bronze stars. He has Purple Heart, 2 valorous citations. He's an infantry medal with a star. He's 67 jumps with the 82nd Airborne. The master parachuter with a Ranger tab, no less. And it goes on. He's written a book on the security of America. You name it, I think he's done it. And I can go on and on about him, but I don't want to talk too much. But anyway, we have contributions up here if anyone is interested. We also remind you, if you want to vote, you have to register by Friday. Absentee ballots are available here. All of the ballots are available that you need. And to give you another note here. Okay, up to the table. Just come up to the table and look over anything you want. And with that, here's our star, Chris. No.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate that. And can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Make sure everybody can hear me. Okay, to Doc and to George, to ladies and gentlemen, to everyone here. I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for being with us. Not exactly the best driving weather to be out right now, and you probably like me, I don't see very well at night. So we'll try to keep this brief so that you can get back before it's dark. But I do want to say thank you. I want to express my gratitude for you guys to be out, and I want to share with you that it's a great honor to be backed by veterans. That really means a lot, and I think about something that we all share in common. At one point in our lives, between us and our spouses and our families, we all took an oath to defend this cherished way of life and to put something greater than ourselves in front of our interests. And to me, that means everything. That means everything. That means that every one of you put everything on the line. And we're here today, and there are others that are not so fortunate, that put everything on the line and lost everything. Lost their lives for our freedoms. We never forget them. Their memories are cherished. We can never do anything to bring them back. We know this. There's a big gaping hole in the families, and we can be there for the families. We can give support to the families, but we can never make it whole again. We can honor their sacrifices, and we go forward. That's all we can do in this life, is continue to move forward with honor and with dignity. I want to thank these 2 gentlemen here. They've driven a long way. Jim Haggerty from Valatia is part of our Veterans Committee, and he's come to all these events. He's a guy that I rely on to help others. We've had young men and women that need help now, and we try to reach out and help them in one form or another. And I greatly appreciate Jim Haggerty. This is my commander. Everyone's got a commander. I got my commander. This is Tom Burrow. He's our American Legion commander for my post in Valatia, which is a small village in the town of Kinderhook, where I grew up. You heard the statistical bio, but the things I want you to know about me is some of which you may have seen on TV. I came from a working class family. I'm proud of my family. They're good people. We were never well off, but law-abiding, loving, good neighbors. That was my family, and I was the oldest of Bob and Barbara Gibson. We were, I think, a typical conservative Irish Catholic family. Now, we were also Democrats. Don't throw anything at me. But I think that was typical, actually, for the times. You know, when you consider, you know, that kind of historical background. But, you know, Dad, Dad worked for Otis Elevator. Some of you have heard me say that before, and these were some good times for us in the 1970s. He was a part of a union there, and so we got the opportunity to share in that fraternity of a union. That is to say, the union picnics and the like, and that was a good experience for us. But it didn't end well in Otis Elevator for us. You know, I mean, Dad fell on hard times. Otis really fell on hard times in the late 1970s. And that meant that Dad spent a good amount of time in 78 and 79 out of work. So he was collecting unemployment. Actually, I thank God we have that safety net. It needs to be a bridge to get back to work. But I'm thankful we live in a country that would be like that would have a safety net. But at the same time, it was tough for a proud man to accept unemployment. And he did. He did for the sake of our family. That's part of the story how I became a Republican. Because, you know, looking out there and trying to figure out, you know, really, not really understanding a lot of stuff at the age of 15 and seeing my dad go through this difficulty. Looking to the president at the time, Jimmy Carter, who, you know, struck me as a moral guy, really trying to do his best. Our family supported him in 1976. But it just seemed we were lacking in leadership. I watched him address all of us from the Oval Office, wearing a sweater, talking about turning the thermostat down. And on the one hand, I admired the candor that he was communicating, but also I was thinking, is this really it? Is it going to get worse from here? Our best days behind us? And, you know, it was around that time, you'll recall, that Ronald Reagan starts to come to the fore. Now, he had run for president in 76 unsuccessfully, and he was running for president again, but he was not the favorite. And he was not the party's favorite either in 1979. But he persevered and moved forward, and there were things about him that I admired. I admired the fact that he always seemed to have a smile on his face, even in the toughest times. His message was one that I could connect with. He talked about the fact that this was a great country, and it was a different country, founded at its birth. And he talked about the fact that what we really needed to do was empower Americans, empower our small business owners by helping them out with less government. And when that happened, he believed that we would reach our potential. So we had an optimistic vision for our future. You can imagine, as a young lad, I was very open to hearing that, given what I was experiencing. So that had an attractiveness for me. So, you know, the opposition will say, well, he's imbued with Ronald Reagan's philosophy. It's true. It's absolutely true. I'm influenced by Ronald Reagan. There's no question about it, because I believe that he had the right message for us on how to grow, how we can grow the private sector economy, and for us to reach our God-given potential. We have the best form of government, as imperfect as it is, because it's most closely aligned with human nature, because it allows for freedom. So I wanted to share that with you, a little bit about my family background, so you can understand where I'm coming from, because I am very passionate about our country, and I'm passionate about a certain set of views that I think will lead to a flourishing and thriving life. I played athletics. You know, I was on the sports teams at Ichabod Crane, basketball and baseball. We did not have a football team, which was a major source of consternation for us. Now we do now, which is a wonderful thing at Ichabod Crane, but back then we did not. I was inclined to leadership early on. I was the co-captain of the basketball team, and for me that was a good experience for me to get that kind of responsibility. I was not the star of the team, but I was the guy that tried to get the ball to the stars. So that was important, because what really matters is that we won. More than anything else, that's the thing that mattered, is that the team won. And that was part of an ethic that I grew up with as well, that I got at home. I give a lot of credit to my parents. Love and discipline was something they instilled at home, and I felt that that kind of approach works in life. Discipline being doing what's right always, doing, helping others, leading by example, and leadership really requires this. To put the interest of others before yourself. We know this. We know this from our time serving. Leadership provides vision, purpose, and direction. It puts the interests of others before ourselves. And leadership in the tough times says, follow me. Follow me. This can be done. And this will be done.